Hey, ladies. I haven't been feeling good. I hope y'all are well, and I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. I have started the large floral watercolor today, and it is 18 by 24. So I have sketched out the flowers, most of the flowers that I sent you. So there's something that looks like an aster, two foxgloves, Queen Anne's lace, nasturtium, and I feel like there's something else. Oh, there's mushrooms down at the bottom, and oh, there's one echinacea, and then I've started a little oak leaf tree with some acorns. And I'm gonna add some ladybugs, beetles, butterfly, dragonfly, bees, but I don't think I'm going to add any furry critters, just the insects. So I've started this. I penciled, I drew it by hand, and then I washed. I'm doing wet pigment on dry paper. So I'm not wetting my paper at all. So I did a wash on the background. It's like a really light blue gray with some green in it. And then I watered down my dark green, which is sap green, really, 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 really as watery as I could get it, and started adding the stems and the leaves, and then watered down my burnt umber or burnt sienna. I can't remember which one it is, but one of those two, the browner of the colors. Let's see what I've got. I've got burnt umber and burnt sienna. So it was burnt sienna watered down for the brown. And that is where I am. So I'm just going to work on this a little bit longer. And I'm not even sure if I'm going to start at the top or the bottom or the side. I'll probably start over here, which is where I started the drawing. So I drew the foxgloves first, and then I drew the asters behind it. And then I did the Queen Anne's lace, which is in the front with some overlapping. And then I did the nasturtium, the echinacea, and then I went in and did the mushrooms. So this set of mushrooms is behind the foxgloves. They're more out front. And this set is just underneath the nasturtium. So just because it's so big and I really want it to look nice, I'm going to really take my time this week into next week to work on this. I'm going to keep it facing me for now. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do the really watered down pink for the foxgloves. And I'm missing a oh, there it is. Let's see if this one will work. So I've got a kind of a flat, thicker brush. The brushes that I used, okay, so I used this brush here for the wash in the background, and I'm sorry the wood is all chipped off of it, so I don't know what size it is, but it is a thick, round-tipped, medium-sized brush. And then I used my thinner one for the stems and some of the leaves, but I don't recommend this one for doing the leaves because it just doesn't hold as much water. It's better for finer strokes. So I'm going to really water down. I mean, this palette is pretty much from what I was doing before. I used my cerulean blue, heavily watered down for the backwash with a little bit of the green and yellow that I picked up. So I'm just going to take one of these reds. This is alizarin crimson, true red, alizarin crimson, white, and red, kind of all mixed together from the other day when I was doing the floral, Japanese floral design. So I'm going to get a lot of water in there. And just put the ittiest bittiest bit on my brush. Sorry, I'm gonna have to turn it a little bit to get to it. And I'm gonna go in and start doing some of the larger buds, just with that really light wash. And I'll leave some of the heavier pigment in areas where I'm going to shade and add more darker later. Maybe the alizarin crimson for the contour lines. So literally I'm just getting a back color on all of these foxglove buds. There are a lot of them. And y'all should have these images that I just sent. Either yesterday or the day before. I can't remember. My days are running into each other. So my brother and I are having to scramble to do Thanksgiving because my parents have gone to Kentucky to be with my stepsister. And they had the funeral yesterday, but I've not heard much about anything. So it'll be nice to have it at my brother's. It's the first time they've done Thanksgiving there, and their oldest is 22. So we're all rallying and well, I'm not, I'm painting right now. But I'm gonna cook later. We've got a little Friendsgiving to go to tonight. And then tomorrow we'll spend the whole day with my brother. And yesterday we went to visit Todd's mom at Trinity Grove. She's there. She's 88. So she won't be having a Thanksgiving either. All right. So just going back over it a little bit to smooth in those colors. And all right, so that's my pink. And there is no other pink in here. So the mushrooms are going to be red and brown and gray, red and brown and gray. The foxgloves are pink. This, I guess, is an aster. I'll have purple and maybe like periwinkle-ish blue and gray in here. And then the Queen Anne's lace, I'm not sure. So the pod part of it is kind of flat and then has, I don't even know the shape to describe the pod shape, but the interesting thing is that it's pretty flat across that area. And then the internal part of it is they have tiny little buds, and then the buds are bigger in the middle and then tinier at the top. And the image that I was using had the stem and then these little other stems that hold the flower pod on it. And those are going to be the same color. And then I'm not sure, yellow and gray with green maybe in it. I haven't decided, but I missed a leaf right there. So since I'm working with the pink, I'm going to move down to the mushrooms and just get some color on those. And I'm just using the red, that red in that corner section, which is kind of pink, and that's all right, because I'm going to go back over it. A pretty thick brush, flat, small, but thick. So that one's doing the trick here. And I just want to get color out. I'm basically blocking right now. Blocking in all the colors just so I can see where the painting will go. All right, oh, there is a third one over here. And these will be much redder, like almost a true red, with the little splotchy dots on it. Gray, black, white, and then a darker red. And sometimes I use my brush and hold it in the direction of the shape of the object so that it gives it some, highlights and shading, or value is what it's actually called. And I'm trying really hard to use just as little paint as possible since I'm so impatient with watercolor. So I'm just going to really, really try to take my time and do a really nice painting. So we shall see. I'll come back up here later. I'm not going all the way to the bottom. I'm leaving a little lighter space there because I know that the mushroom has some um, gills underneath. So I'm just trying to think ahead. And I'm just lightly trying to dab now to get some contour. All right, so that's what this looks like so far. So the foxgloves have a good back on them. The asters have the um, their stems are darker, and I've got my mushrooms started, but I need to do the ones over here. All right, so I picked up a little bit of alizarin crimson, so we'll see how this looks. And I have had to stand up to paint some of this because it's so big. And with watercolor, it runs. So flat is better. Here it goes. Oh, it's hard to see with my light. All right. I'm just lifting this off a little bit. All right. The echinaceas are pink, two. So I'm going to get those lines in there as well. Okay. All right, well, I'm going to leave it at that for now because I've got some things I've got to work on, but it's a good start and I'm already very proud of painting. So if I don't overwork this, maybe it'll be a masterpiece. I'm kidding. But maybe it'll be better than some of the other ones that I've done. So again, this will be purple and blue. And I'll have to figure out the Queen Anne's lace. That's got a variety of colors in it. The nasturtium, I believe that's what that is. My grandmother grew them. These are yellow and orange with some brown in them. And then the leaves are, some are light, like a light leaf green, but others are sap green, dark. And then I've got penciled in a line around it in areas that I know that I'll paint dark so it'll look like, or light, depending on how the leaf is curled. So we'll have red, orange, and yellow over here with the green, different greens, and the blue and purple, pink, light pinks, reds and browns and blacks and whites. Got to figure out the foxglove. I mean, not foxgloves, but the Queen Anne's lace. But I think that'll have some yellow and gray and maybe real light blue in it. So it's going to have the spectrum of colors on it. And I'll go back in and I'll use the colors, the color mixing to get the shading and the highlights on it. And then I'll let it dry and I'll go back and I'll add the critters. So here's a little look at what it looks like so far. All righty. I hope y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. I'll probably do some painting tomorrow and send you another video. And I do have insects and woodland critters and farm animals for y'all to see in images, and I'll get those uploaded too. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.